Hey Hev, if you're watching this years from now, you're looking at a version of the world you won't remember, but a moment in time that your mom and dad will never forget. You were just 4.5 months old when we packed up our lives and took you on your very first trip abroad, all the way to beautiful Croatia. To anyone else, it was just a summer holiday. But to us, your first time parents who waited and prayed so intensely for you to join our lives, this trip was a monumental milestone. Now, if I'm being completely honest with you, Have, the intense anxiety before the trip, that was mostly on me, your mom. See, your dad has that classic European mindset, the belief that having a child doesn't mean you to stop traveling or living life. You just bring the baby along for the ride. But me, with my Asian roots, I'm highly cautious. I wanted to research everything, plan for every single scenario, and protect you from every little discomfort. The mix of excitement and worry inside my heart was overwhelming. I was terrified of how you'd handle a different country at such a young, fragile age. But oh my goodness, my darling boy, you were an absolute trooper. All that worrying I did, you made us realize we could just breathe and enjoy it. Not a single cry on the flight out and not a single fuss on the flight back. You've handled the skies like an absolute pro. While the engines hummed and we flew high above the clouds, you just sat there entirely calm. We knew there were bajillions of new senses hitting your brain, bajillions of new synapses firing as you took in this giant new world. Yet, you didn't make a single fuss. You were just beautifully taking it all in. We stayed at a gorgeous all-inclusive hotel right on the beachfront. It was paradise, Have. It had a sparkling pool, great restaurants, and a huge playroom packed with toys and colors designed just for you to enjoy all kinds of wonderful new stimuli. Despite being surrounded by so much action, you proved to be an absolute champion sleeper. Traveling completely throws off a baby's internal clock, but not yours. Even in a foreign room, far away from home, you maintained your exact nap schedules during the day. And every single night, right after your usual warm bath, you drifted off to sleep as per your usual routine. Every time you fell asleep so peacefully, my cautious mom heart breathed a massive sigh of relief. This trip to Croatia was also the backdrop for some of the most magical firsts of your life. One of our absolute favorite memories was watching you finally discover and enjoy the mirror in our room. Up until then, mirrors were just objects. But in Croatia, something clicked. We watched your expressions shift in real time and we saw the exact beautiful aha moment in your face when you realized that the reflection looking back at you was actually you. It was like watching a tiny door opened in your mind. And then, of course, there were the buffet adventures. Every evening, you would cruise around the food stations in your little trolley, completely relaxed with your little legs kicked up high like you owned the place. You spent the evenings proudly holding a banana that was literally the exact same size as your tiny head. You held onto it like a prize trophy, and everyone we passed break into a massive smile. You showed us how brave you were too. When the giant hotel mascot walked up the lobby, you didn't shed a single tear nor a hint of fear in your eyes. You just look up at the massive character with the pure curiosity, taking it all in stride. That same peaceful spirit followed us when we ventured outside the resort to explore the historic old town of Zadar. Pushing your stroller over those ancient, polished cobblestones, under the shadow of centuries-old stone walls, you were entirely at peace. And you know what, Hef? Traveling with a newborn is famous for being the ultimate stress test for first-time parents. With your dad's relaxed style and my highly cautious planning, people might have expected us to clash. But your calm, joyful energy kept us completely grounded. In fact, your mom and dad never fought once the entire trip. Looking back at our first family vacation, that harmony taught us a profound lesson in balance that we want to pass down to you as you grow up. You see, life requires a delicate balance. Your dad's European mindset reminds us that we shouldn't stop living, exploring, or chasing adventure just because things get a little unpredictable. But my cautious Asian roots remind us that true adventure requires a foundation of care, preparation, and wisdom. You can't leap into the world blindly. You need a thoughtful mind to guide your steps. On this trip, those two worlds met perfectly, and you, our sweet boy, were the perfect bridge between us, resilient, adaptable, and completely secure because you had both the wings to explore and steady foundation to keep you safe. Half, we pray that as you grow, you will always keep this beautiful spirit. We pray that you remain resilient when the world around you gets stormy and adaptable when life takes you down unexpected paths. The world is changing so fast, sweet boy, and these strengths are the most essential treasures you can carry in your heart. May you always face the unknown with courage, knowing you can handle whatever comes your way. Thank you for being the most incredible first travel companion we could have ever dreamed of, the beautiful answers to our years of prayers. We love you.
What happened today? We just choose a table, and as of sudden, the one sitting beside us, they are gone now. They were speaking German and telling how handsome and cute you are. And as of sudden, your father replied also in German, and they got shocked because they thought we are only speaking English. And I explained that you're only 4 months. They said you're so already mature for 4 months. That's it.